Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll put $50 they don't come out this year.
Okay.
10 gift subs.
Sure. I'll take that
I'll throw
bet.
you 10 gift subs.
Hey, what's up? This is ChoseN, and in this video, I'm going to be joined by my friend Darth Microtransaction. We're going to talk about something going on in Awaken Chaos Era. You may know this game came out recently as a new player in the gacha industry. Well, one of Darth's friends was banned from their content creator program, so we're just going to touch on what is going on over there on Awaken Chaos Era and what happened with that. And then we'll touch on some random topics and catch up with Darth when it comes to Lost Ark and some different things going on in Raid and the gaming universe. So let's get into it. Alrighty, and now joined by Mr. Darth Microtransaction. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good, Brad. How are you doing today?
Oh, you know, hanging in there, can't complain. I know it's been a while since we've touched base. I thought it'd be a good time to, because I had something I wanted to ask you about. I know when I was streaming today, people were talking about some stuff going on in Awaken Chaos Era. I know you were into that game a little bit more than I was, something about their creator
Yes,
program, getting rid of people. And some people were saying it was you, some people saying it's not you. So I
I
was
was
just,
never in their creator program.
gotcha. So I was
So a little
just
bit of
like,
confusion there.
yeah, I guess like, but something around auto clicking and somebody promoted it and got banned. And just for the people that only play Raid and maybe aren't familiar with this other
Sure.
mobile game, Awaken Chaos Era, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes, what was happening there?
Sure. Well, if you want just the drama spark notes, I guess. So Kyra Mobile was in the content creation program and a personal friend of mine. So since the beginning of Awaken Chaos Era, they just banned auto clicking, which we didn't care about, by the way. I mean, it doesn't matter, that they auto clicking's not allowed. So we've been saying don't auto click since the beginning of the game. So Kyra Mobile, just because we never got clarification like directly in a DM or anything. So he's like, I'm just gonna ask the guy, like the main admin, whether or not auto clicking is okay directly. So he did, and there's screenshots and all. You can just go watch Kyra Mobile's video if you want to get the breakdown. But basically, what happens is the guy says yes, it's okay, and Kyra Mobile specifically asked, I want to tell my audience, and the guy specifically says it's okay as long as he doesn't share the video in their Discord. So he's like, bet. So me and him both make videos saying auto clicking's allowed because the guy said it's allowed. So then when the videos come out, he in the Discord starts banning people, like random players who are saying, but auto clicking was said to be allowed. And he starts telling people that basically Kyra Mobile and me are liars. Like he said, I guarantee you he didn't get that info from any dev. But the guy saying that's literally the guy that told him. And it's not even like our word, like we have screenshots. Like not only screenshots, but like we just live pulled up Discord and you can just see it. So it's not a drama, like it's just fact. Like the guy just said auto clicking's allowed, and then when he got in trouble or something, it's like auto clicking's not allowed, and they're lying. And it was just unlucky for him that we can literally prove that he's not lying. So then when Kyra made the video like, hey, I need to defend myself, like the reason we said auto clicking's allowed, because we're financially benefited to say auto clicking's allowed, right? Like you know this, BlueStacks, LD Player, whatever it is you use, if they download it, we make a few bucks. So when we find auto clicking's allowed, obviously we're going to make a video saying auto clicking's allowed. It's just brain dead obvious. So Kyra Mobile was insulted because he comes out with a video basically saying auto clicking's allowed, which benefits him and me because if they download, we get paid. And then the guy says we're lying and makes us look like a piece of shit who's trying to get our audience members banned in exchange for like $2 download fee. So it was like really not a good, and this is the main admin of the Discord. This isn't like some volunteer moderator like we have in Raid. This is literally the admin of the entire Discord. So when Kyra comes out with a video like, hey, I need to defend myself, and we're sitting there like explaining what happened and literally just showing the screenshots live, like he didn't delete his DMs. We were just scrolling there like, there it is. Then he just bans Kyra Mobile and me straight from the Discord, so we couldn't defend ourselves for it. Just straight up bans it. So other people go in there and ask what happened and why Kyra got removed from the content creation program. Some people were playing like Team Kyra in their tag or whatever, and he just starts banning those people or threatening to ban them. And so that was the whole drama. It's not a big drama. It's just a weird thing that happened. Like we're just confused. Like we don't know why he would say it's okay explicitly to tell our audience it's okay, and then right after we tell our audience it's okay, say we're liars. It just seems like a calculated weird thing to do.
Yeah, I don't. It's almost like there has to be something more to it. Like this person has nothing to gain by doing that. Why? Like,
But it's because he didn't like me because I told him he can shove his content creator program up his ass because he's an unstable nut job, is what I told him directly. And that's because he is. I mean, you can see it. Like, Kyra's not even the first person to get banned from the content creation program. Like, X's games got banned from the content creation program, and Ace was like acting racist to him too. Like, there's just some weird stuff that happens with this guy. Like, before me and Kyra even had drama with this, I was just watching X's Games' live stream where he's talking about it, and he's randomly talking about how Ace is like a pile of garbage to him, was racist to him, banned him from it for just asking if we were going to skip animations. Like in the beta, people were asking, like, are we going to have a skip animations thing? And anytime people would ask that, they just ban them from the Discord, like, regardless. It's just
I remember that being a big deal. I don't remember seeing anybody get banned for it, but this is like the beta. But
got banned. So well, and not the open pre-soft launch, whatever you want to call it, where it's available but not available.
Yeah, I remember that. But so like, why wouldn't he just say, hey, probably play on the safe side and don't promote it? Like, what would he have to gain from lying and then banning him afterwards? I guess I don't understand. That's what I'm saying.
The guy's just not, like, he probably got in trouble or something when these videos came out saying it's allowed, when he says it's okay. And then he's backtracking instead of just like changing the statement, which again would have been fine. Like no one cared. Like it's not a big deal. He could have gone and retracted and be like, "Hey, sorry, my bad. It's allowed, but you can't make videos about it or something." But he didn't say that. He specifically said it was okay. And like that's the thing. That's why I say just go watch Kyra Mobile's video. Like there's no opinion in this. There's no drama in this. It's just a guy said this is okay. We say it's okay. He says we're lying. That's it. Like there's nothing else to say about it. It's just confusing. That's what we don't understand either. I think he just didn't like Kyra Mobile being my friend. And so he decides just to ban him from the thing or whatever. But either way, it like no one understands this. This isn't like a point of contention. It's just a weird thing that happened. Like there's not really anything else to say about it. It is what it is. The guy said something could be allowed and then said, I never said that, and then literally can just see he said it, so.
Yeah, super weird, but I just wanted to talk about it real quick, because I know people in my audience were, like, talking about it and seemed to not know what happened and whatnot, but yeah, I'll link down below to Kyra's video if anybody is curious and wants to see, like, the full breakdown, but I also just wanted to kind of touch base with you and see how you've been doing with I know we're doing Lost Ark a lot, and you made like another channel for Awaken. So a couple different topics. Like, do you think Awaken has long-term, like a year from now, staying power?
That's kind of the bummer part. Is like Awaken's actually a good game. Like, there's no reason to have a bad, and the Discord community isn't something that's like terrible. It's not like the people in the Discord that's bad. Like, there's just one bad moderator that just kind of ruins it for like everyone. Like everything else is fine. You know what I mean? The game's fine. Yeah. Like, it's a good game. It's got staying power. They're coming out with new heroes. The quality of life is good.
Yeah,
monetization needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, I can pull it up. I see this this new hero here for looks like some sort of special event going on for 2 weeks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. Like that's why it's so confusing. It's just I've never seen like a game that has a lot going for it that just has one like obvious problem. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And how's the Lost Ark grind going? I was talking about that today on stream. It seems like it's doing well. I can't believe the player retention. Typically, games will be like New World. They'll come out and then there'll be a big crater in activity after kind of the newlywed hype wears off that first week or two. But Lost Ark seems to be like kind of stable.
Yeah, I have a take on that. I think it's Westerners actually really like Korean MMO styles, but we just get them so few and far between. I think the same thing happened with MapleStory. Like MapleStory was very Westernized I'm not saying in terms of game mechanics, but by the time we got it, like the Western community really liked it. You know what I mean? And took it on. I don't think that Westerners are, as opposed to like very grindy MMOs as we think we are. Like these type of games have a large amount of content in them due to the replayability and kind of almost the gacha aspect of limiting how far you can progress, you know, over RNG, for instance. And I think that's a market that's been proven in the West continually. I think the problem is we haven't got very many good MMORPGs that execute on this game plan style very often in the West. And when we do, sometimes the graphics are kind of trash too. So I think that we got a good pairing of like good graphics with a publisher that advertised it heavily. Lots of big YouTubers, Twitch live streamers, reactors, stuff like that are covering the game, which helped it. Then the game's fundamentally a good game. So it's keeping the retention of players, and the content is enormous. Like anyone who's telling you they've completed the game is just a liar or doesn't understand the game. Like there's so much to do that it's basically impossible to complete the game. And I've played other MMOs that have this. Like I'm always going to go back to old school RuneScape as an example of like one of the best MMOs because of replayability and social aspect. And Lost Ark has that. There is a social aspect to Lost Ark too. Like you can co-op a significant amount of the stuff. You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff literally requires co-op gameplay. And it's not like the raids are easy to do. Like when you get into the 8-man raids, you actually have to know the mechanics. Like one person messing up will wipe the whole raid. And so because of that, there's also a linear scale of like skill, basically. So as you progress, it progressively gets harder. And so you feel like not only is your hero progressing, but you feel like you're progressing in skill as well, which I think is also kind of a crucial part to game to MMOs too.
Yeah, you're leveling up yourself and your hero.
Yeah, basically.
One person messing up, ruining the whole thing sounds like a lot of toxicity waiting to happen, but could be fun also.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's a lot of that, and unfortunately, when someone doesn't know they're making a mistake, they think what's happening is somebody else is making a mistake. And then you have the classic like arguing of 8 people who just randomly found each other, all disagreeing on what the problem is. So very often that can be a problem, but you just move on to the next group and then you try it again.
Yeah, or play with friends and whatnot. So, do you think New World cratered so hard, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen for Lost Ark, right? You think it's gonna be a lot more stable?
Well, I don't believe it's going to, and if it was going to, it would have happened already. I think fundamentally the problem with New World was that it was a mile wide but an inch deep, if that makes sense. Like everywhere you went was the same monster. Like literally the tutorial monster you killed in New World, that zombie, was in the in-game level 60 dungeons. Like it's the same monster all the way through. I mean, they actually went back and repatched it and mixed up some of the heroes. So the problem with New World is it had a fun gameplay loop, but that gameplay loop was the same from minute one to the last minute you play the game, and they didn't mix it up like at all. It's like go here, cut this new tree, go here, cut this new tree, go here, kill this other zombie that's the same thing with a hat, and it made the world seem like there's zero impact. Whereas in Lost Ark, I don't think that's going to happen because in these Korean style MMOs, every place you go is almost like a little theme park. Like one place you're going to be killing demons with top hats. The next place is going to be like cars for some reason they're driving. You know what I mean? Like that's typically how they do it. But everywhere is a visual feast and like interesting to look at. Whereas in New World, it's just bland and boring. The best thing to look at is when you're in an open field and like the sun's hitting in, there's the trees, and you just see the vast landscape. But you're not interacting with the vast landscape. You're just looking at it like a portrait. Where in Lost Ark, you're having to battle your way through it and interact with all of it. And it's almost sort of like a Disney World ride where you're going through on rails, like all these different exciting things are popping up and etc. Some people might not like that game experience, some might, but I think the numbers are showing that a lot of people like that experience better than what New World had to offer.
Yeah, no, Lost Ark is doing better than I thought it would. I thought it would. Usually these games lose like 70% of their players within a month, and then it kind of slowly dips down from the huge hype release. But it's looking pretty stable. And I thought with New World, the end game resources being basically worthless was a huge killer for me. Like you'd finally get to the point where you could mine star metal ore, and then it wouldn't even sell for 0.01. And it's like, okay, well, I'm glad I leveled up my my mining to level 150 or whatever, but
There was some economic problems too. Like you needed vast more amount of tier 1 than anything else because you needed the basic materials to roll all into the higher materials, which is a terrible way to do games. Um, anyone who's played a lot of MMOs knows if you need a fuckload of tier 1 to make tier 4 or whatever, like there's a problem.
well, you would think it makes sense on paper because you want resources to have value over the whole course of the game instead of hitting like level 10 and now all of a sudden like copper's worthless for the rest of your playthrough. So it's hard to implement that and make the conversion make sense. Like I get why they would try that, but they really, yeah, like you said, you needed way too much of the early game stuff compared to the end game stuff.
Yeah, like it wouldn't. Economies just don't work that way. Like you can't have it be where the tier 1 is what's important because in any other game, like here, let me use RuneScape as another example, right? So coal in that game is something that you farm and you use coal to smith into bars. Well, you can use an iron ore plus 2 coal and that will give you a steel bar, or a mithril plus 4, or an adamant plus 6, or a rune plus 8, or whatever, right? So what happens is everything's just valued based upon what the most valuable bar is. Like all of the other values go instantly out the window. It's like, okay, rune bar is the most valuable, so coal is worth a rune ore minus 8 coals, right? Like, and then you have your value, and now that's just what it's worth for the rest of the game. You know what I mean? It's always going to be set based upon whatever the highest market value one is. And the problem in New World is you don't make a product that then you resell. Like when you're grinding up your stuff, a lot of times you're making literal garbage. And because of that, there's such a huge bottleneck on tier 1, and there's not enough players entering the game new as there is hitting the end game. So tier 1 becomes this just joke of a bottleneck. And then you have all these in-game players going back to farm tier 1 materials, which makes it where the brand new players have nothing to farm because they're competing with all the people that are in-game now with better items and mounts and all that stuff running around. It's just, that's the problem when they do that in these games. You know, that's like, I love MMOs, but if you bottleneck everything by one resource, then it's just everyone's going to compete over that resource and the price is going to go through the roof, and it's just going to become a problem.
Yeah, I agree. And then the last thing I want to touch on is I know something big in the news recently. Like, is it delayed? Is it not? And obviously a big game for what we do is Diablo Immortal. Have you been following it at all? Are you gonna play it when it comes out? When have you been?
Definitely play it. I think I'm in the same boat with you, where it's like it's hard to even think about it because we got told it's coming like 55 years ago at this point. I think I was still in my mom's womb when he said, "Do you still have phones?" So I'm not quite sure what the plan is on that. When it comes out, yeah, I'll try it. I mean, you know me on my channel, I'll try everything. Like it doesn't just have to be mobile games. Like I'll try MMOs. I'll try whatever interests me. I'll take a couple steps. I played Elden Rings for a couple episodes. Like I'll try anything.
Yeah, I think Diablo Immortal was announced like the end of 2018, and it's looking like it'll come out about 4 years later, basically. At some point in this year. Originally, it was supposed to come out, I think around Thanksgiving, like the end of last year, and then they
Should
delayed
we do a bet on this?
What?
That's actually going to come out this year?
Yeah, I bet it comes out this year. Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll put $50 they don't come out this year.
Okay.
10 gift subs.
Sure. I'll take that bet.
Throw you 10 gift subs.
I'll take that bet.
Right, there we go.
But
throw a little excitement.
I am with you. I think it will get delayed. They like you know, but I think they won't delay it another year. So hopefully I win that $50 because if you're right, geez, the backlash is going to be crazy if you're right.
We'll see, my friend. You know what does come out this month, in fact?
This month. Give me a second to think.
Oh, it's a big deal, dude. It's a game changer happens this month.
Now I know you're memeing.
I am memeing. You're never gonna
is it
guess
like
it.
Candy
I'm getting
Crush
my
2 or
nose
something?
fixed. I'm getting my nose fixed, bro. You know how I have a broken nose from
really?
fighting and soccer and stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. So I went and had the scan done, and it's broken twice. So it's like blocked off on both sides, and it's why I haven't been able to breathe very good. So I got my schedule for the surgery now. So like on the 16th of this month, I'm getting my nose fixed. I'll be out for like a week, you know, all hopped up on pills and stuff. But like I can't wait to get surgery and get my nose fixed so I can actually start breathing again, bro. I'm preparing for the summer. I got all kinds of summer plans. I need to be able to breathe properly.
Yeah, so you have like one nostril is better than the other in terms of like breathing in, or
The left one basically doesn't work, and the right one's like 70% blocked or something. Because they have something called serpentine break, where when I got punched right here, like you can feel it, it broke this way. So it's blocked here. But then because it got punched, like I got punched like this, it broke this way too. So it's also blocked here. So I'm like blocked here and blocked here, basically. And so they're gonna re-break my nose and fix it.
okay. Well, yeah, good luck, man. You'll have to keep us posted how it goes. That's exciting. It'll be
Dude, I'm so happy.
Deep-
I literally can't wait.
yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be awesome, man. Congrats. Well, did
Yeah,
you have
thanks.
anything else you wanted to touch base on? And we've already gotten a bet in. We've talked about the drama. We've
Yeah, I mean, you wanted to hear the drama, which isn't really that. I mean, I don't think it's that exciting a drama. Car Mobile got banned because there's an idiot in the Discord. Who cares? Like, we all know that these Discords are full of neckbeards that just like to power trip. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever. We're going to continue covering the game and talking about it. Who cares? However, I will say that the most exciting for me is that the snow is finally melting in Alaska. And I'm excited because another month or two, maybe I can start getting the motorcycle out and at least try to get a little bit of sun on me. You can see I'm looking fairly pale, Brad. I could use a little bit of sun.
Hey, you and me both, man. I was joking about this on stream a couple days ago. When you look at my first videos, like 3 years ago, and back when I was outside a lot more, I look completely different. So, yeah, you and me both.
All right, well that should probably cover it then. Hey, I don't got any other talking points unless you want to hit me with an interesting question for the people.
Oh yeah, no,
what
we're
do you got for me?
nope, we're good. I won't hog you all day. I know you got a lot of work to get to, but thanks for stopping by and touching base with us again.
Man, always a pleasure to talk to you.
Alrighty, so that's gonna do it for this one. Huge shout out to my good friend Darth Micro for joining me on this one. And remember, I will link down below to both Darth Micro's channel and that video from Kyra Mobile if you wanted to see the full deep dive and his perspective as to what happened in the topic that Darth and I were discussing in this video. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.